It looks like Bitcoin over the last 2 days was simply whales taking out stop liquidity before a big drive down. It looks like what's happening. And right now, very similar thing happening is a lot of traders breaking or trading this breakdown of this horizontal because they don't have this blue line here. This blue line is my origin line. Most traders don't know that exists, right? So most people were trading this. They set their stops there, and all that Bitcoin did, the whales just take them out. But they have a limit to that, and I've gone over this on my channel before. Whenever you have an aggressive move down, it doesn't matter if it's 10%, a Wyckoff drop or whatever. It's just as long as you see it aggressive, the first move up to the 4-hour 10, which is that red line, especially even the first two, but particularly the first one, that's where it stops. Almost every time. It's among the highest probability trades there is. But what it does is there are so many retail people with a decent size and, decent size amount of money over the world who are trading breakdowns. So breakdown, breakout traders, and their stops are right here. So the whales have permission to take out all their stops so they can take on positions, but their limit to that is roughly the 4-hour 10 EMA, sometimes as high as the 4-hour 21, which is a little higher. But that's all that's happening right now. And so I'm going to show you in this video here today, this orange line right here. This is going to be a big deal. I think this orange line vertical, given that it is when the next daily candle opens, that's when that's going to tell you when Bitcoin's finally going to break below my origin line, which is where price is bouncing exactly. And I'm going to tell you why that is. So are you ready? Let's go get some Bitcoin. Alrighty. This orange line is when the next daily candle opens. Daily candle opening / closing, so it's simultaneous, right? It's a fluid transition. That's when volatility picks up. But it's not just at the line, it's 1 hour prior to 1 hour after. So that the span is a 2 hour let me zoom in a little bit more to get this more precise. So that is at 7. Well, that's strange. Oh, I have this at 8:15. There we go. Okay, now it's in the middle. All right. So in this zone, and let me zoom out. No, too much. I'm having some difficulties here managing my chart. Sorry. And let's make it so it's understandable. Here we go. All right, so this is all the stuff that's in play. This is the time axis. I don't think the origin line, so let me label the origin line more clearly. Boom. Okay, so what is happening right now is that this 4-hour 10 is the limitation, essentially, that whales can take out the liquidity of stops from people doing breakdown trading from this horizontal right here. Okay, people who traded that, they just took them all out, essentially. And because their stops of a short is a buy, in order to limit sell, or in order to market sell, right, you have to have limit buys there, or market buy, or limit buys or stop market buys. And so the buys are the people from shorting because that's what their stops are. So whales know that they can drive it up into there, but they also know other big players, other big whales and algos they're going to become sellers above the 4-hour 10. And I promise you, not financial advice, but if you wanted one easy trade, it's after an aggressive move down. Doesn't have to be a big, it could be a 2% move down, as long as it happens fast. The first time price hits the 4-hour 10, you don't have to do it right at it. You can do some above, some at, some below. It's just shy of the 4-hour 10, but that 4-hour 10, it's just the easiest way. It's the easiest short setup out there. I'm telling you, and again, this is not financial advice. For me, it's the easiest. It's literally the highest probability one. And usually I try it twice. But this drop right behind me is not big enough. So it was aggressive, and here, let me zoom in. It was aggressive and fast enough, yes, but it wasn't large enough for me to want to try it twice. So usually on the second time, I would try it again, maybe even after a lower low. So you get a lower low, try it again. That's usually a safe play too. But if price can't make a lower low before hitting it a second time, I would not try it a second time. I wouldn't I wouldn't add on to my position again or whatever. I wouldn't like go double down or anything. But if it makes a new low, if I were to take profits down here and it came all the way back up as this red line goes it hits the origin line, actually that'd be a pretty high that would be a pretty good trade actually. I probably would try that. But and again, this is me. I'm talking about myself and how I'm reading the charts and trying to put together what is making price move is all based on how whales make money. And once you start, understanding that, just realize they make patterns too. Incentive is mappable. You're essentially getting a map of of incentive of large players. That's it. And they're taking advantage of retail traders in bulk. And so once you start seeing price like that, which I didn't start seeing that like that until just I was already a YouTuber for like 3 months. And then I embarrassed myself by not catching the Wyckoff drop, right? I didn't see it coming with Ethereum and Cardano screaming up. I even famously said, I don't think Bitcoin will go under 50K again. And probably 2 days later, that's when it went down to 29K, like in an hour. But because I wasn't thinking like a whale, and I didn't realize at that time, whales are dictating price. Like it's 90% of the transaction volume, particularly during a bear market. During retail season, it's probably only 70%. But so literally what's moving price right now, it's just all algos taking advantage of the small amount of retail traders pissing around with Bitcoin. That's all that's happening. But it makes patterns. But in order to understand the patterns and anticipate them, you have to think, how are whales going to make money? They're going to make money from retail traders. So therefore, you have to know, what are retail traders doing? How do they trade? Where are their stops? That's it. You want to make money the way that the whales do. But the only thing is, it's actually better if you're thinking that way, because you don't have to risk your money by buying Bitcoin on spot to get it up there. You're just waiting for them to do the work. So anyway, that's how I'm viewing price. Do I get everything right all the time? No. But recently I've been doing a pretty good job, I feel. So that's what I'm looking at. And now once this breaks down, which I'm highly confident that it will, well, am I? Let me see how confident. Let me be more careful with my words. I am confident. I'm not highly confident. I think this is I think there's a very tradable edge here that Bitcoin will go below this blue line at least by 9 p.m. New York. By this line, it will. I think it's going to happen actually a little earlier. Because what I think, if I had to make one single guess, and again, I like to make 3 guesses. I like to make 3, so there's more chance I can show off later and clip that part of the video and say, ha, told you, right? Anyway, I like to make 3 guesses. Not just for showboating, because I like to be prepared. Because sometimes the third most probable, that's what plays out. And sometimes that's what plays out because I mislabel it as the third most probable because I missed something. But I usually get the price right with 3 tries, and I'm ready for each of them to happen. Right? It's not just so I can go back and clip the video later, and even though that helps, that's fun. But I try to only do that if it was my first most probable. So I try to be fair with that stuff. Anyway, but if I had to make a first most probable guess, if I had to make one guess, I think Bitcoin price by about this orange line or a little before. So this is 7 p.m. New York time today. Okay, so just like a little bit after this, honestly. Wait, no. Oh, I have that for tomorrow. Shit, I have that on the wrong freaking day. This is me being retarded. It wouldn't be a first. And sorry if that word is insensitive to some people. I apologize. All right, so good thing I looked at that. All right, here we go. So I think around this first orange line is when Bitcoin is going to break below this blue line. And again, so the origin line is at about 19,830 right now. I think whales are going to want to make money by driving price below around that time, maybe even going as heavy as like 19K even. So I think it could go down as, I think it can go as low as 19 even. And then I think it's going to go up and take out the stops from everybody shorting the breakdown of this horizontal. Let me put another line at market open tomorrow, because they time this stuff. Their algorithms apply the right amount of buy pressure to make this timed perfectly. I'm telling you. You can see it in the charts. Their algos literally, like, you know how you bake something, you bake it at the right temperature? Well, their moves, they're baking a cake. They do it at the right speed and the right amount of sell pressure. I'm telling you. Like, it's all about the market open and then the daily candle close. You need you need vertical lines on your chart a lot, right? Especially for new people. You need to just, and it would probably be helpful if you just marked 9:30 a.m. New York time, so market open for US, on your Bitcoin chart for the next like 8 weeks. Almost like scheduling out a calendar. Just mark it with a vertical line, so it's just already there. And then do the same thing for 8 p.m. New York when the daily candle closes. Honestly, I can't believe I've never heard that advice before. Almost like using it as a calendar, and I've never given that advice. That's honestly really good advice. You should. I might do that shit. I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it. Anyway. But so the timing of this, if I had to make one specific guess, anticipating whale movement, I don't know how low it's going to go, but I would guess 19K, and then I think it's going to have to do a double. So they're going to have to time it for this. They want the top of the backfill timed for this, because I think after this next orange line over here, that's when it's going to go back down, or yeah, something like that. See here, boom. It's going to hang out here, go like this, boom, 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 boom. And then it could actually spike up, grab even more people, maybe liquidate the 50X and high leverage people, and give the markets time to get their morning rally over, and then it heads down. So something like that. And let me make this a more visible color. Let me make it like this. So if I had to make one specific price path guess, that's it. And so this line here is Wednesday, New York time, 9:30 a.m. And a lot of times before the traditional market goes down, it likes to rally up. People just love to trade up in the stock market, especially at 9:30. So because whales know that that's what people like to do, sometimes they allow them to do it and do it with them, and then trap them and then bring it down. That's just how it works. A lot. So I would say, so this might need to be moved this way. It might happen all like this. So it might go down right at market open. And so it might be a little off like this if this were to pan out, but just give me a little bit of wiggle room here if this is what actually happens, right? So if I had to make one guess for you, this is it. So you can pause the video, snapshot it. And again, I'm recording this, and I'll upload it for a Bitcoin video later from the live stream. So you can have a second chance to snapshot this. But this is my first main guess over the next 12 hours. And I'll put some price points. So I think this area could go down to 19. I think tomorrow it can go back as high as 20K. Smack it on the head. All right, so or it'll probably get rejected by the origin line. Failure, just in a baby failure pattern above. I don't think it'll go much above 19,920. Yeah, I don't think it'll go too much over that origin line. And that's my first guess. If I had to make a second guess over the next 12-ish to 14 hours or so, I don't think this is going to be, I don't think price is getting over this, over 20,000. I don't think in the top 3 scenarios that Bitcoin gets over this line before this orange line. I don't think that'll happen. So all 3 of my guesses, none of my top 3 guesses will involve price getting above this over the next 12 hours. So I want to be, so I'll kind of forego the exact shape price will take, but for the next 2, but just in general, for my next 2 guesses, I would not guess anything over this line. However, that does not mean Ethereum can't spike up. Dash won't though. Ethereum's being treated like a hot alt right now because the news and the one after the merge happens, it'll move more with Bitcoin, and it'll move less like Atom, which it just gets hot out of nowhere, and Matic and all that shit, right? But so Ethereum's moving like a big cap alt right now. And the reason I'm saying this is because of Bitcoin dominance. let's look at Bitcoin dominance real fast. So just because until Bitcoin goes below this line, so this is my origin line, right? And if you're new to my channel, I'm not going to zoom out and show you, but these go back 12 years in price history. And for some reason, even on the 5-minute candles, price just loves it exactly, even though they're 12 years old. I call it origin line because well, 13 years old now, because it goes back to the origin of price, okay? And you'll only find those on my channel. Nobody else on YouTube uses them because I essentially made them up. But they work. It kind of sounds bad when I say I made them up. I'm just pulling this shit out of my ass, people. Right? No, but they work. They work very precisely, as weird as that is. But I don't think alts, so until Bitcoin breaks below this origin line, which right now is about 19.8 or so, alts have permission to go up because look what Bitcoin dominance is doing. So Bitcoin dominance has gone, I needed the 12-hour chart. Bitcoin dominance is too deep in my triangle. So until this point right here is hit, alts have permission to fly. So this is, see how I have an origin line here? Actually, it's pretty dark. There we go. Now you can see them. All right. So it needs to hit this origin line before Bitcoin really dives. Because when Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin dominance always goes up, right? Therefore, Bitcoin will not tank down until that line is hit. It's seriously that easy. So again, it is mandatory, right? That if Bitcoin drops hard, then Bitcoin dominance goes up. As of now, that statement should be true for the next like 3 to 4 years. This next whole market cycle is probably going to be true until other alts I don't know the word, but they separate. It's something like bifurcated or something. I'm not a technical person from the traditional markets. I don't know all the fancy words, but until alts are separated from Bitcoin, it's going to be an accurate statement. So I would expect that this line is hit right when you can expect a bigger drop in price. That doesn't include the mapped out price path I just took. I think Bitcoin, dominance might wiggle around here, and tomorrow morning at 9:30 is when I think this could be hit, this line. So let me put a pin in this so you can see the exact levels that this would be. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So somewhere around 39.75%. Yeah. Honestly, it looks like it might happen soon. Shit. Yeah, because when it bounces, because this is not this is not a bull market. This is not so this also goes up at the beginning of bull markets before alt season begins, because Bitcoin just it starts the run, right? So this goes up under two circumstances. When Bitcoin's skyrocketing up faster than everything else at beginning of bull markets, and this goes up, which it's probably going to bounce from here, right? So if it bounces, it goes up. But it also goes up when Bitcoin dumps, because Bitcoin dumps less on a percentage basis than alts that lose a lot more value. Therefore, this goes up. So honestly, this is saying Bitcoin might drop harder. It has a chance to drop hard before 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. It's getting kind of close, but these are 12-hour. Yeah, these are 12-hour candles, so maybe not. So it is kind of suggesting tomorrow or later that the big drop will happen. So when I made that price path on Bitcoin, I would not consider that the big drop. So let me go back to the 15-minute chart. Yeah, this would not be the big drop. I'm talking that would. Let me get rid of the stuff here. There we go. I'm talking about that would bounce when you get a big drop like that, like down to 17.5. That is when Bitcoin's going to hit that target on Bitcoin dominance. I don't think this drop overnight down to my bounce zone, if I could put the live charts so that bounce zone right there. I I don't think that's going to actually trigger it. Does that make sense? Because those were 12-hour candles. It might actually be a little bit later in the week is kind of what that's saying. And those are all my thoughts on Bitcoin. So I'm going to cover Ethereum price next. And again, if you're watching the recording of this, definitely check out check out my Twitter. It's Cosasverdes with the number 2 afterward. I post some pretty bomb charts on altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and traditional markets, so you can stay in tune with the market. And the YouTube tiers, the Cryptillion YouTube tier is essentially like a Discord Cryptillion tier without the direct live interaction with the microphone and video camera. And you also get first dibs on the YouTube live chats and 15 to 30 daily updates a week, plus recordings of the Cryptillion videos that we do on Discord, and links to Discord with visual instructions on how to join in the description section of all my videos. So let's go ahead and get to Ethereum.